Wade Willis here for Wade's Weeb Reviews, and the newest episode of ReZero. This is episode 6 of season 2. Holy cow! I have very mixed feelings on it. Overall, really good episode, I gotta say, but emotionally, not a huge fan. Tons of ups and downs, and I'll get into the ending in a little bit. But we pick up, and it's not right where we left off, because in ReZero you're kind of like basically time travel back a bit. And Subaru is back to where he just finished the trial, and he kind of finds Amelia and is like trying to console her, and he knows he needs to approach this in a completely different manner because shit is hitting the fan over in the mansion in a few days. So his plan is, okay, I've already passed the first trial, there's going to be 2 more, which ends up no one else knows this, which is pretty crazy. So it shows a lot about Subaru. He's the only person that's ever made it this far, but he's getting pushback from Amelia and surprisingly from Garfield, which in the previous episode Garfield was the one basically who was like, dude, what are you doing? You should be doing this trial. I don't think Amelia wants to do this. But I think Garfield really came to this conclusion after seeing Amelia fail a few more times, which she hasn't done at this point. She's only failed 1 time. So he's kind of pushing back against Subaru, and Subaru basically realizes, I got to go back to the drawing board. This is hurting Amelia's feelings. Like, she thinks I don't believe in her. I'm going to have to go to the mansion as soon as possible. And Roswaal suggests having Ram go with him. And this is, Ram hasn't really been in the show a ton, and this season they're really developing her character a lot more. Like, I know she's been like sassy in the past, but she's really like blossoming in this. Her like banter with multiple characters in this episode is awesome. Garfield, she's hilarious, and basically you kind of like get a hint that Garfield is like in love with her. And when Subaru and Ram are gonna ride up on his dragon back to the mansion, Garfield gives the medallion, that blue stone, not a medallion, to Ram, and Subaru was like, what the heck? Because again, Garfield has not gone through the situations to change his opinion of Subaru and Amelia. In those 2 days, he obviously changes a lot. So we're a few days behind, and he is different towards Subaru. So he gets the stone. They make it back. There's a touching reunion with Subaru and Petra, who's one of my favorite characters. She's so adorable and such like a nice girl. And he has an really important interaction with Frederica. And up to this point, like, honestly for me, like, I was with like Subaru, like, I'm questioning Frederica hardcore. Like, I think she's planning a bunch of stuff. And then you find out she has some kind of oath. We don't know with who. I mean, if you have intelligence, you can kind of assume Elsa's done something with her. But you kind of realize Frederica's actually, like, not a bad guy. And Subaru gives her that stone, which is very important, a little bit later in the episode. She gets, like, really emotional with it, and it's like, oh, this is Garfield's stone. So that's important to her. And then all of a sudden, you hear Elsa's voice, and you're like, oh crap. And she has Petra, like, basically as a hostage, which I'm obviously pissed about because no one should hurt Petra. And Ram, Frederica, like, Subaru, they're all trying to get the hell out of there with Petra. It looked like they went down to like 6 stories, and they get hit with all these spikes in the back and stuff. And Petra kind of turns more into like part beast to like protect them and stuff. When they land, Ram basically says like, okay, we just need to get the hell out of here and go to the sanctuary, which Subaru's like shocked by, because a little bit earlier in the episode he introduced her again to Rem and was like, hey dude, you know it's your sister. And she's like, yeah, I do. And Rem would actually expect us to leave when she's like over there lifeless, which as cold as it is, I have to agree that would be what Rem would want. Rem would want them to leave and go, protect, Roswell and stuff, but still very cold nevertheless. And basically they veto her opinion, and Petra, I was in shock. She puts on the stone and goes literally full beast mode, like turns into this huge, like majestic, like wolf type yellow beast thing. It was super cool. I did not expect that. And is ready to just tear shit up. So Ram, Subaru, and Petra are going around the mansion trying to find Rem and trying to get to Rem. Then there's this other beast that I don't know what the hell this thing is, and it has horns. Super creepy looking. Petra and Subaru get separated from Ram. She kind of patches him up because he still has a spike in him. And it's really cute because she uses the like handkerchief that she kept from him to like patch his wound up. And then when she took the stuff out, she actually cut herself, and then he patches her wound with it. It's like a really touching moment. And anytime this happens in the show, I am like, they're gonna do something horrible to this character. And I was right. They're trying to like basically get out of there. They're holding hands. And the way they do the cinematography, it's like Subaru's flashing in and out of consciousness, like flying in and out of the air. And he looks to Petra's arm, and basically he's just only holding her arm, and she's dead. And loses his shit. Which I did too. I was freaking pissed. When I'm like, okay, homie's gonna die. Elsa's gonna capture him in no time. So at least he can come up with a way to save Petra. Then Elsa's tracking him down, and he tries to open a door, and Beatrice comes out of nowhere and saves him, which Subaru freaks out on her. Is like, why the hell did you like save me? Which she doesn't know, obviously, about his ability. And I was kind of yelling at her too, even though I love Beatrice. But yeah, this episode was absolutely insane. Like, all these things you thought about characters ended up not being true. I love what they're doing with Ram, really letting her character like breathe and show like her side, where Rem really overpowers a lot in the previous season. And then I'm so crushed by what's going. Like, I hope that Subaru dies so we can go back and save Petra. If they end up killing off Petra for good, I'm going to be pretty upset. Or at least, I guess, best case scenario, she's alive without one arm, which I guess I would be okay with. But I kind of want Subaru to be able to go back. But I don't know. I think he's going to need to basically kill himself to go back, and they need to get Beatrice involved right away. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What did you guys think about the episode? Did you think it was as good as me? How do you think it's going to end up in this next episode? Do you think he's gonna like die and go back to before? Do you think Petra's maybe alive without her arm? I find that doubtful. But yeah, guys, comment what you guys thought about the episode. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my page. Again, guys, I'm Wade Willis, and this is Wade's Weeb Reviews.